Thank you, Madam President, members of the board, audience. Good evening, Feliz Años Nuevo, and Happy New Year to everybody. I also would like to welcome our new members and point out at the dais that I have copies of the Superintendent's Comments. There's a handout from the School Boards Association meeting about the work that the association does. It's the colored puzzle piece. And question and answers asked about the meeting and responded to by staff today for everybody's to review. And before I start on the district's activities in December, I want to extend on behalf of the board and the district leadership team our sincere condolences to the Loves family for the loss of their daughter who was shot over the weekend. The pain of losing a child is hard to imagine. Our thoughts and prayers are with Tamika, Dahami, Taria, and Teria, our social workers working with those students and their mom to help manage the grieving process. Having said that, I hope the best for all of you in 2017, along with the usual holiday programs and concerts which were well attended by our community last month. Students and staff worked in service to our community as well. As part of the continued commitment to Kids at Hope's 4 destination schools conducted several drives at Tres Rios. Kindergartners organized a new pajama drive, and they collected 75 new pajamas to be donated to kids, and for every pair of pajamas, Scholastic donated a new book as well. 7th graders at Country Place collected 351 toys for Phoenix Children's Hospital. Hunger is also a problem over the holidays, and Littleton Elementary collected 3 large boxes of food, which were donated to Salvation Army. Quinton collected 665 pounds of food for St. Mary's Food Bank, and Collier donated a whopping 1,618 pounds of food, and City of Avondale Neighborhood Family Services recognized their school with a trophy for placing in one of the top 3 schools in the city-wide School Spirit Holiday Food Drive. Spirit Community is part of the season, and Christmas Killer showed up at the door of recently retired governing board member Sandy Nielsen, who also has the same door as currently serving member Curtis Nielsen, recognizing the work she's done for the community and offered some holiday cheer. ABC 15 News featured the surprise gathering outside their house and evening on their telecast. A contingent of our governing board and leadership team had the honor of attending the Arizona School Boards Association annual awards ceremony last month, and we were excited to share that Mrs. Nielsen was the recipient of 2 prestigious awards. She was presented with the ASBA Honor Roll Award, which recognizes retiring board members who were nominated by their fellow board members for completion of at least 8 years of outstanding service, and after a rigorous nomination and selection process, she was also selected for the All Arizona School Board Member Award, which is the highest honor for an individual board member exemplifying best practices in boardsmanship. The honor is awarded for commitment to boardsmanship training, active leadership at local, state, and federal levels, contributions to the State and National School Boards Association, rapport with fellow board members, and demonstrated concern for the district's children. With your permission, Madam President, we'd like to show the video that was presented at the ceremony in honor of Sandy's service.
Please.
Sandy Nielsen's commitment to community service and public education is manifested in the many capacities in which she has served during most of her life. She has served on the Littleton Elementary School District Governing Board since 2006. Prior to this venture, she was a governing board member in the Marana Unified School District in 2003. In 2013, she received an award for being part of a highly effective board. She helps orient all the new board members to their roles and responsibilities as elections bring changes to the membership. She can be found at ASBA conferences and workshops, mentoring not only new Littleton members, but also new board members from across the state as she shares her passion for helping children. Sandy continues to share the information and practices she learns at these events with other governing board members and stakeholders. She has made recommendations to the district on behalf of students and offered support to district initiatives based on the knowledge acquired at these conferences. Parent, volunteer, and advocate. These 3 words best describe Sandy and all she brings to the Littleton Elementary School District. Congratulations to Sandy Nielsen.
So we were very thankful to have Sandy on our board for as long as she was, and wish her and her family all the best in time to come. Yesterday, Governor Ducey delivered his 2017 State of the State address, and the theme of the speech was boundless opportunity. The governor made a new commitment to increase investments every year in K-12 education, above inflation, which is, of course, easier to do after you've cut drastically and not funded education. Several of those ideas have costs attached, but we didn't hear where the funds would come from or anything about the renewal of Prop 301. So I want to touch on some of those, even though we won't see the executive's budget until the end of the week. We're anxious to see how his plan to provide permanent and lasting salary increases to all the state's teachers, beyond raises from Prop 123 overrides from the district will be funded, because we're concerned that that may just fall to the governing board to make tough decisions between funds again. We certainly welcome expanding voluntary full-day kindergarten, especially in low-income schools, but we wonder how it will be funded, because we're concerned once again it may just fall to the governing board to make that decision. One rumor was circulating was that the state would only pay for schools where the board didn't already make the tough decision to give something up to keep kindergarten. I think that would be inherently unfair. We're anxious to see how the $1,000 signing bonus to attract the best and brightest teachers to low-income schools would be structured, and how many of our own teachers would really be eligible, and of course how it would be funded, because we're concerned once again it may fall to the governing board to make the decision. We applaud the creation of the Arizona Teacher Academy for individuals whose education would be paid for if they commit to teaching in Arizona, but wonder once again how it would be funded, because we're concerned it may just fall to the Board of Regents to make tough decisions again. And how a loan forgiveness program for STEM teachers would be paid for as well. He committed to making investments in career and technical education, which is ironically still funded below 2009 levels. Our students participate in CTE both in their own high schools and in the West MEC campuses. We used to think that career technical education was a targeted investment to address the achievement gap, so we'd be happy to see more opportunities for our kids to prepare for meaningful work in our community. We wondered if targeted investments today to address the achievement gap means resurrecting the Arizona Chamber's plan to spend the old achievement fund on A schools again, and whether per pupil funding boosts for schools that are high achieving and even larger per pupil funding boosts for low income high achieving schools will also follow the Arizona Chamber's plan. We wonder if the new investments for school construction and capital means making it easier for charter schools to build new privately owned facilities, or actually taking care of public facilities we already have. Connecting isolated areas to high-speed broadband has long been a state goal. His plan changes the context to credit that funding to education when it's something that needs to be done by the state anyway, but it certainly would help schools in those areas. The battle cry to reform teacher certification is an old one, and people differ on what's outdated criteria, but decertification of the teaching profession is a bad idea. Creating principal academies to train current and future leaders is an old idea that others are already doing, and I'd say finally it's hard to say what college-going programs will mean or what support there will be for Achieve 60 Arizona. But it sure sounds good in the speech, and we look forward to seeing his budget and what the legislature does with those priorities. Getting back to other news from around the district, Estrella Vista STEM Academy was featured in the December 2016 News of Maricopa County Education Service Agency, featuring the inquiry-based model of hands-on learning and digital learning. Here at the district office, our Southwest Food Service staff was awarded Top Financial District Award for superior management over $3.5 million in managed volume. Our work continued to make space for much-needed expansion of our preschool program. To facilitate this, we're moving the Welcome Center over to the old Underdown workshop space at the southwest end of this campus. If renovation goes as planned, we'll be able to start serving parents and community over here this spring in time to renovate the preschool area for next year. Our winter sports season came to an exciting end with the Collier girls team winning the volleyball championship and the Estrella Vista boys winning the flag football championship. Now, Our focus is on the upcoming soccer season. We have all 7 schools getting ready for the season to start on January 23rd. Games will be held at Collier Fine Arts and Trace Rios soccer fields, so be sure to come support our athletes. In closing, I'd like to express our appreciation to the America Heart Association for their $495.70 donation to Country Place Leadership Academy for a field trip, to Melinda Manchester for her donation for school backpacks with supplies to Collier Elementary School, and that's all I have this evening.